Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hydraulic Press channel. Today I think we were teetering on how many killers could survive the hydraulic press. Or no, wait, actually, hold on, I'm wrong. Welcome, welcome back to the DBD tier list.
He lost his train of thought.
I was actually thinking of how many killers could survive the hydraulic press.
That's a
I gotta,
whole other story on its own, right there.
hold on, I gotta clear my head. Jeez, I'm sorry. Alright, yeah, no, welcome back to the Dead by Daylight tier list. Last killer we left on was Legion, and well, that was pretty much set in stone. That was a quick execution.
Yep.
But yeah, we're back with another banger. With more killers, we're drawing pretty close to the end, and it's gonna be pretty exciting to talk about the beginners, the ones that started the whole shebang.
Yep.
And well, I guess it's time for me to do the daily roundup of who we have where. And well, I guess let's just get to it. Why not? Why even bother wasting time?
Go for it.
In S tier, we have the Spook Troop, rounding our four titular titans of the Spook Troop. Leading them is the unknown, shining star. And then following him is Ping Pong Boy, Blight, Mr. Stalker, Ghostface, and pick apart and put together Dredge. And still,
I will say this real quick. You know, Ghostface fits that like Spook Troop motif.
yeah, he's the normal person of the Spook Troop, but
yeah,
he's actually the freakiest of the Spook Troop, if you can believe it.
that's true. That's true. And as Arson was getting ready to say, go ahead, Arson.
And still at the top of A, still unthroned for some damn reason, is Vecna the Lich. And then following him is Albert Whiskers, Chuck Green, Meatball Head, and Sadako from the Ring. And then at B is in the BDSM land castle is Pinhead with his right hand dog Demo Gorgon, his left hand demoted Conehead Pyramid Head, and demoted Knight from left hand to just normal Knight is Knight. Followed that is K-pop Man as the Jester, and then Carmina the Crow Lady as the Queen, I guess, as Phoenix said. And then finally, last in B is the Sheriff that is now appointed as the Sheriff in this weird BDSM land, Deathslinger.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not gonna indulge this anymore. In C, we have Oni, and then following that is Nemesis and Plague and Xeno, and then finally in D tier we have the Twins, Legion, and Skull Merchant. I can't believe I said that, but I acknowledged their existence last episode, so
yeah,
I guess we're just going.
You did say her name. So
I couldn't keep it up anymore, guys. I'm sorry.
Which now brings us to what I would say is my third main, and one that also has a pretty tragic backstory. In the Spirit. So with the Spirit, I don't know. There's a, and by the way, I do believe Vecna is going to be getting close to dethroned here soon. with some of the cast that we got coming up, I really do believe that. I don't think Vecna can hold on to the top A spot.
He's held it on this long, man. That's impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. But anyways, going back to the Spirit, I love the Spirit. I think she is such a good killer to face. The things that she has, and some of the perks that came with her, and I just love her. I like using her. I used to use her more so than I do now, which I never use her anymore, hardly ever. But she is, I don't know. when she decides to, I wouldn't say teleport, but what's it called?
Phase
Phase.
phase
When
walk.
when she phases, that's a scary thing to hear. I mean,
Oh man, yeah. If you are injured, she's still really good in that aspect. If you are injured, you're just stuck to running. You can't
yeah,
hide.
yeah, because she's gonna see you. It's gonna glow. It's like she will see your splattered blood, and
You'll hear splattered blood and hear your agonized cries.
but the best way to defend her is if you're not injured is to walk. Like when you hear her phase, do not run, just walk. You know, if you're like me, I like to crawl. You know, I like to crouch and walk and get out of there with Armored Evasion. And but yeah, I just think she has gone through some changes over the years, and unfortunately, some of those changes weren't for the better for her. But overall, I still think she's a solid tier killer. You know, I just don't know what else to say about her except for, you know, I used to love to use her. She's got some really good skins. And she's got one of, I'd say, the top 5 tragic backstories in Dead by Daylight.
Hmm.
Could you agree with that one?
No, yeah, I could agree with everything you said. She definitely has an extremely tragic backstory.
Yeah.
She wasn't even. I like from what most people have already read. She wasn't really even supposed to be a killer, but unfortunate circumstances and an absolute dickhead of a father have completely derailed that, and now she's just turned into this twisted, vengeful spirit.
Yeah. Which is really sad. I mean, you know, you got to
there's
give.
some there's some solace in the fact that she's with her great grandfather, but I mean, aside from that, it's just kind of she's just stuck there.
Yeah. Could you imagine 2v8 with Oni and Spirit together? They should have like
That's
a.
gotta happen in the next patch. I feel
That
like
definitely has to happen. I feel like that would be amazing.
nobody would survive, unfortunately. But you know, for
No.
thematics, let's make it happen.
Like they should have, if you pair those two together, they should have a special, you know, something happen. You know, unlike anybody else, like they're not related anybody else, but those two are. So I feel like that they should have a special boost of some sort to
That would be pretty nutty.
that would be extremely nutty, but you know, hey, let's make that happen. Come on. Come on, behavior.
Oh
uh,
yeah, I'm sure they'll get right on it.
but yeah, I do believe she is a fairly a really good tiered killer. Um, she still isn't used as much as I would love to see her used, but you do come across them more often than some.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Um. Yeah. Aside from cosmetics and everything else, not an exactly great Mori, but you can really see the
yeah.
rage in
Mm-hmm.
in that Mori animation. It really encapsulates and even further solidifies the whole tragedy of, is there even anything left of her left in the spirit?
That's a good question, to be honest. And you know, the one thing I could say about the Mori system is well, Moris, as they got newer killers, they have progressed more. They have become, I feel like that at first they didn't want to make them, they wanted to make them seem brutal, but they didn't make them extremely brutal until later. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they like, it looks like it. Oof, like oof. That some of them look horrible. Especially, I mean, like the next one we're gonna talk about. Like, I don't like that person's Mori that much at all. But but I mean, they have become more graphic, I guess you could say, for the most
Yeah.
part. You know, and like when you see ones like, especially like Vecna's, my gosh, that's like one of the most graphic Moris I've ever seen. Like
Skin rip.
oh my gosh, it's horrible. But with her, yeah, her Mori isn't the best, but yeah, you can see that rage come out.
Yeah.
So the real question is where would you place her?
She gets. I feel like this is where we start finally getting like this is our first character that will get some special brownie points for being one of the 4 titular characters to star in Hooked on You.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you what, that's I
Never
haven't
played it,
I haven't
never
either.
will, but she is there
Yep.
as one of the characters you can romance, I guess.
Yep. Okay, funny story is I do own it. The
Oh
only
man, when are you gonna do a stream, man?
yeah, no. The only reason I own it is because if you have it, you get a couple like skins for a character. And that's the only reason I got it. Only reason. And
Yep.
I've never installed it. I actually thought about trying to do a refund on it and keep that skin, but
Dude.
I thought about it. But it's through Steam, so they'll do it. But I think since it's unlocked, it's there, right? So, but I don't know. It was only $5 when I bought it, so I'll leave it in my collection. But I'll never play it. But all right, so continue. Sorry.
Actually, oh yeah, I think no. Quick sidetrack. I think also more brownie points for Ghostface because I think he also appears in that game.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, like as a little cameo, he just like pops up for like a second and then he disappears because
Man,
he's like stalking you. I think
I kind of want to look up and see if somebody did a video on it just so I can watch that little part with Ghostface. But
he doesn't even say anything. He literally just appears. I think he actually appears in a unique outfit.
huh.
Actually, I don't even know if he appears in a unique
The
outfit. I think he
freaking
just
summertime outfit for Ghostface.
I think he literally just appears in his normal cloak. Either that or he does appear in a unique outfit. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but he does appear, and then as quickly as he appears, he's gone. But yeah, no.
I mean, I do like that
Yeah,
outfit that the Spirit has though, like her hooked on you outfit.
I do lose to a lot of spirits. I do play as spirit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell she's really good because I usually have no idea what I'm doing, and I still net a lot of kills with her.
Yeah,
She's an extremely good killer.
agreed.
Um, not the top dog, but she is a very solid killer. If you want to get kills, this is basically the killer you go with.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's really fun. It's something satisfying about pulling somebody off of a generator when you're in the middle of your
phase.
phase. Like you come out of that phase and pull them off. It's just like it's so amazing. I've done it like twice, and I've never been able to do it since. But it's so much fun to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I've again on the opposite side of the spectrum. I've lost a lot to her. I
Yeah.
rarely win against spirits, but honestly, it's not that bad. I don't hate her. Not as much as Pinhead. Um, honestly, I think because of that, I think she deserves an A tier.
I 100% agree. However, we may not agree on the same spot.
And what spot are you thinking of exactly?
I believe she should go in front of Chucky.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say she dethrones Vecna.
No, I think in front of Chucky is where her spot is.
Interesting placement.
What about you? Where would you place her?
I'm fine with it. I mean, like in terms of scaring the shit out of me,
Mm-hmm.
Sadako does the job a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I will I will say yes in terms of her being in A tier.
Okay. So we got Spirit in the A tier, thankfully. She is, like I said, my third main, and I'm glad that Arson agreed to that A tier spot. So now we can move on. I can move on with a little bit of, comfort, knowing where she is.
Sweet.
All right. So that brings us to the next one. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna let Arsonistic Clown run with this one.
Ah, yeah. Now, unpopular opinion amongst the masses, but I unironically love clown. Or ironically love clown. I mean, come on, it's in the fucking name. Come on, read it. Read them and weep, losers. I am a
Arsonist clown,
clown,
baby.
and although this clown is very morally questionable, I mean, I'm an arson, so who am I to judge? But this guy indulges in a lot more questionable deeds than I do. Um, his outfits are way out there, especially his elephant one, which I
Santa.
do have his Santa outfit, his elephant outfit, his stupid little. It's he has out there outfits, all
He's
right.
got a plethora of outfits too. He's got so many.
Yeah, he's he is also one of the more infamous killers. I don't know why, but you know, in the PTBs, there's always going to be a clown player for some reason,
Yeah.
and I hope that never stops.
Well, without clown, we wouldn't have Kate, right? So
Yeah, without clown, we wouldn't have everybody's favorite songbird.
that's right. And look, I detest clown. I have come across some clowns that, you know, like they're just really good. And I've actually turned a couple clowns to be friendly. I actually made friends with them and they came into my stream and yeah. So it's kind of nice to see that side of it, but there are a lot of people that play clown that are also toxic. But again, that's every killer that we could talk about that, you know.
Yeah,
Um
every killer isn't safe.
yeah. So but that being said, I don't have much to say about clown. I can't stand his Maury. I don't like how he keeps a bucket of KFF with him, Kentucky Fried Fingers.
Loves his fingers.
Like I don't know. And his laugh, he's like, I actually thought about cosplaying him on stream for this Halloween.
You should do that one. You should do that one meme I said. All you need is a legion, and you and your legion can do a clown and legion cooking show.
Yeah. uh but yeah, other than that, you know, the only thing to me that the clown brought was Maurice. And you all know how I love my Maurice. Um, you know, I feel like they should have like clowns should have celebrated. That's one thing. When Maurice came back, the first time I saw him, I faced a clown. And I looked at Maurice and I was just sitting there and he came up and hit me and then realized I was just sitting there with Maurice petting him. And he sat there and was like nodding his head like, yeah, we had a good time. It was one of the best matches with the clown I had. That was great. You know, but he acknowledged Maurice's return, and it was so awesome. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of the clown. Every time I feel like he's a big bully. He's, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say
Really,
he's OP.
I loved playing clown when he first came out. He was so much fun to play to me. Like
Mhm.
I loved at the time, like he really matched with my playstyle.
Yeah. Now, let me just say this: just because I give you what I said about the clown doesn't mean I'm going to put him in a certain tier. Um, he does have his good qualities as a member of the DBD, you know, killer regime. I don't know what you would call them, but but you know, anyways, Arson, you go ahead and explain anything you need to do, and we'll just judge this one really quick.
Well, his lore ain't all that special. He's
No.
just a really creepy guy
Uh huh.
with a lot of issues. Um, he again, his outfits, his gameplay. Um, fighting against the clown is interesting. Back then, it was just the slowdown bottles, but now with his rework, he now has the haste bottles, which no clowns ever use. At least any clowns that don't have a game plan with the antidote bottles. Um, I know I use them for when I down someone, I throw it down, pick them up. Makes me just that bit faster so I can get
Yeah.
to a hook.
Yeah.
But back then, I really liked just the slowdown bottles. Like, at least back then, there weren't as many perks and things to shake up the meta as there are now.
Mm-hmm.
So playing them back then was especially fun because just slowing them down before they can reach a pallet was really funny for me.
Yeah.
And I love his hit animation. Him twirling the knife between his fingers is just so awesome to see. And then
Oh
of
yeah,
course
yeah, yeah, yeah.
his stupid hearty laugh.
Oh,
Uh,
I love
and of course
hitting with a pallet.
he and unlike Demo, because Demo was the first humanoid-like killer creature that we got. Clown was a killer that a lot of people never thought was going to be added to the game. Because if I remember correctly, Dead by Daylight didn't want to add it for people who had a major fear of clowns. And lo and behold, later on down the line, guess who shows up?
Yeah, I've seen somebody from my friend group DC because we faced a clown because they have such a fear of clowns.
But I
Um,
mean, I think that's why they purposefully made him so like jiggly and jolly,
jiggly and
kind of.
jolly.
They didn't make him like a traditional clown killer, like maybe like Pennywise, because
Mm-hmm.
I think that definitely would have spiked the fear levels up a lot. But I think the fact that they made him all big and kind of dumb looking, they kind of, I guess, was supposed to mediate the whole killer clown type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess it's fine, it's whatever. But as for ranking, I think he dethrones K-pop Man as the Jester.
Okay,
Do
you know
you agree
what?
to these terms?
Oh man, I I will agree to those terms. I
Fantastic.
think he is a mid tier B. Um, you know, so yeah, we got. So where does that leave our former jester then?
Our former Jester shall be executed in the gallows at noon for displeasing the BDSM king.
Well, I don't know what he did to do that, but hey, all right. All right, so that brings us to our next killer, and this one is a little squealy. She
The poor
is,
pig that always gets nerfed.
yeah, always gets nerfed. Um, when she first came out, she was deadly as all get out. Like she really was.
Oh yeah. Once you
Uh,
had that trap on your head, it was either get it off. Even if you had the exit gates open, that wouldn't save you.
yeah. So but she has been nerfed a lot, and we're gonna take that into account because I do love a good pig, and every single time I face a pig, when we find out, we always, well, I can't say we because Arson doesn't, but I will always try to boop the snoot. Arson's
Kind of
like, nope.
reminding me. Like aside from Ghostface, this is basically the next big meme you're going to get to,
Yeah,
which is booping the snoot.
yeah. And see, I I don't need to say a lot about Amanda because the pig here can speak for herself. She is another one where you could get that really dangerous like jump scare, and like there's nothing worse than like paying attention to a gen and all of a sudden you hear roar, roar.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's a bit of a heart stopper hearing that.
yeah, exactly. So when you hear her start to power up and you freak the crap out like really fast, so she has her moments. I've come across some that are super toxic, but for the most part, I come across the pig killers, and they're not too bad. Some are extremely talented playing the pig. I can't stand her map, but uh, you
One of
know,
my friends loves the meatpacking plant.
really
Yeah,
well.
and I despise him for it.
Well, the only thing I love about the meatpacking plant is the hole that goes above and Arson knows this, the hole that goes above the bathroom. You know, where all the dirty business goes, where, everybody was locked up in the movie and stuff like that.
Ah, yes, the juking.
So if I always, every time I go to that place, I always try to get the killer to fall down the hole. And every once in a while, you can see the killer turn and look at you as you're just sitting there as they're falling down the hole, and that makes me smile bigger than anything. So, but other than that, I don't have much to say about the pig. I love her. Is she a super strong killer? Not always. It also depends on
The
people.
circumstances are
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah. The one of the worst things I hate is when you start off with the thing on your head, and then she also has the add-on where you can't see anything and you have to find them. That's a rough one.
I
So,
just like that they kept her like even after most of the nerfs, like
mm-hmm.
they kept her mostly the same with her
Yeah,
unique gameplay loop and everything, and I hugely respect that. Unlike the next killer we're going to get into.
yeah. But
But yeah, no, the fact that she's still, it's still the pig even after all the nerfs, I hugely respect that.
I would give her a strong B.
Strong B.
Yeah.
Another, I mean, we just got off the heels of adding another B character, but I mean,
I mean, it's either strong B or low A.
hmm, I would say, given, like, again, I think it's a battle of like the memes to me.
It always is with
you
you.
have you have Ghostface at the top of his game. He is the meme lord
Yeah.
in the realms. And then you have Pinhead down there is the leader of his BDSM
Troop.
empire in B
Yeah.
tier. With his IK, and it's a matter of, is the boop the snoot, and the fact that she can also teabag, although slightly slower than Ghostface, greater than or lower than the you open the box.
I think that's greater.
Now, would you say, is it worthy of an A?
Uh See, I don't know. But I am willing to go low A. But if she goes A, she's going behind Ring Girl.
I concur.
Okay. So we're putting Pig on A tier.
Again, this
Uh
isn't this isn't entirely about the memes either. All right, there are, like, I've played her a few times, but unfortunately only when she first launched. Again, I have not played her after all
Yeah.
the nerfs and maybe slight buffs. I know she has some lore. She had a tome, I think, that came out, but again, it's another thing that we'll get into later.
Mm,
um, her lore is a little tragic, like not as tragic as a lot of the characters. I think, like, the reason she's above the likes of the twins and Crow Lady is the fact that her meme status and the chases. Again, we're taking a lot of things into account here, and she just gets a great boost out of a lot of that. Like, she gets a lot of boost.
yeah.
Like, getting chased by her is fun. Playing as her can be fun. Um, and yeah, her cosmetics are pretty good as well.
Yeah. I like her like jet black one. Like
Can't wait
that's
for the blighted skin
when she gets it. Yeah.
if she gets it.
Well, all right. So that brings us to our next killer. Do you got any last thoughts on her before we go?
Make sure to boop the snoot next time. That's
That's
all.
right. This coming from the person that never boops the snoot.
Yeah, I never boop it, but you can.
He's too scared.
I'm
He's
too
scared.
prideful.
That too. All right, that brings us to our next one, and I I I don't know about him. Actually, when I first started playing the game, it was right after his release.
Before his rework, I'm just going to say it now. Before his rework, I would have put him at the top of C, but after all the shenanigans and bullshit, put him in D. Just,
Okay, I
I'm
agree.
just putting it right now. Just already put him in D, but
I
I
put him.
guess we're on
I,
D.
I put him. I put him here.
Yeah, behind the twins, but above Legion and Skull Merchant.
All right. So that being said, we're talking about Freddy.
He's a special type of annoying, isn't he?
Yeah. But the thing is so I started playing DBD when he was released. It was right after he was released. I played in between him and the pig. So my first real killer release was the pig when I started playing. I started playing in November and she came in December, I believe. Um, and he was in October or early November, one of the two. But he was absolutely deadly, like so deadly. Like, oh my gosh,
Before his rework, he was such a he wasn't the best killer, but he was a good killer,
He
and
was
that's
good.
because he had a unique gimmick of dragging you into the dream world,
Right.
which they took away. You
Yeah.
still get dragged into the dream world, but it's not as huge as it should be.
So
So
he lose props for me because he's not Robert England.
yeah, no, automatic like remake. Like most of all the licensed killers here, I think all of the licensed killers here are originals.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for Freddy, he is the remake.
Right. And like I'm not a big fan of the remake. And that being said, I'm going to drop this here in a second because I can care less. But
Best
Freddy,
part, we've hit rock bottom when the best part of the entire freaking Nightmare on Elm Street chapter is Quentin.
yeah, Quentin.
he is the best part. I don't like the map. I don't like the map. The map can go unfog itself.
Yeah, but had they had the
I
original Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy, you wouldn't have Quentin. You'd have Nancy.
Yeah, but like that's why I'm saying like the best part about all of this is Quentin. I don't like the map, and I especially don't like Freddy now. So the best part about all of this is a character that you rarely ever see.
Yeah. Yeah, you hardly ever see him. Ever. But yeah, so Freddy falls down to the tier D behind Twins in front of Legion. So that's our say so.
Oh,
I
I
know.
hate I hate that I have nothing else to say about him.
Yeah.
He's fine. I can't believe I was excited for his rework, man. I should have
Yeah.
known he was perfect the way he was.
I
They
know I
took
have
away they
go
took
ahead.
away what made him unique,
Yeah.
and they bastardized him.
I know I
And
have a Freddy fan that plays him in my stream, and if he watches this, he's gonna be devastated by our
I'm
choice.
sorry, man. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I just can't bring myself to just take him any higher.
and
I hate being chased by him. I can't believe I hate playing as him, but I do.
mm-hmm.
And he has no real lore aside from the fact that he's just there. I mean, he has Quentin to fire to like, be angry against, but that's about
Yeah,
it. He has no lore, no tome, no cosmetics.
none, none.
He has nothing.
So that being said, I'm not too excited about the next killer either, because I think the people who play this next killer is absolute garbage. I've come across maybe a handful of people over the years that have
We'll put
been
him in C for chainsaw.
oh my gosh, I don't even know. All right, so our next one is Leatherface. And Basement Bubba is like the worst.
Really can't be a basement Bubba anymore, can he?
No, you can't. I mean, you can if you just camp basement with nobody down there, which I've seen Bubba like guard the chest. As long as you don't touch the chest, you're fine. So, and my mistake was going down there, and then he wrecked the whole team, and that was on Midwich. Like it was bad. But I don't have much to say about him either. I don't like Leatherface every time I play against him. Uh, you know, he can be fun to run. But overall, I'm not a big fan of him.
He used to be at the top of his game, at least early on, and then after, everything else happened, he's in a static state,
Yeah.
terrible state. Not even like to levels of like Pyramid Head or Michael.
Mm-hmm.
He's like terribly aged. He doesn't have much going for him in
No.
terms of power or real, I guess, spice to add to the game.
Right.
He runs at you with a chainsaw, and that's about it. I mean,
But
his stun noise is funny.
yeah. Oh yeah, it is. But I will say this: I will give you tier C on him, but he's going behind Xeno.
Hold on. I still have more to make for his case.
Oh, okay.
He has cosmetics, unlike Freddy.
Yeah.
Come on, he has the grandma skin.
Yeah, he does. He also has some skins that were taken away. So
Yeah, the very controversial
yeah.
these things. Which honestly, I honestly really had no problem with it. I think it's just because people really blew it out of the water and just kind of like made a big deal out of it.
Well, it's also the people who are playing the skins were
Yeah, it was also
making
the people that were playing
right,
this game.
right.
It takes
They
a
were
few people to ruin it for everybody else. It would have been awesome over time. He could just acquire all the faces of the current survivors.
oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
That would definitely make him a standout. That would grant
Mm,
him B status to me.
but he could never have Nia's
Unfortunately, I mean
because
he's entity, so
exactly you can't give the entity's face to Bubba. You can't. So
but
okay,
that's another point I was getting to. He also has a tragic backstory that nobody talks about. In the fact that it's like right off the end of the first movie, like right off the end of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
mm-hmm.
the final girl gets away and he's just left on the road, swinging his chainsaw around, frustrated and angry. And it says in his bio that she's gonna go bring like the cops, and they're gonna take away his family. And he was just angry and frustrated, and he was feeling all of these emotions. And that's when the entity came in, and he's scared of it. He is scared of the entity in the same way he is scared of his family and like disappointing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he's like in limbo now in the fog, like just killing because that's all he knows to do is
Yeah.
kill for his family and now for the entity, and now he's just kind of stuck there forever. It's
Mm-hmm.
not exactly a bad gig to be stuck with, but he's torn away from his family and is now just here forever.
Right. Yeah, and I get that, but that doesn't change where I think he should be placed.
Damn it!
But before we make final judgment, where do you think he should be placed?
I wanted him to be above Xeno, but it's fine if you want to place him below him.
You know what? I could give you that.
I just feel like they nailed Bubba. Like they kept more to faith with Bubba, which is really
Yeah.
not hard to do. More than Xeno. And I hate to say it, but I feel like I should give Bubba just that,
Okay.
because as much as I loathe him at times, he really got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, and I will give you that. I'll give him above Xenomorph, just because you did an excellent job at your rebuttal or your argument or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I appreciate that.
Very
So,
good. And also because there's a meme video of it.
oh, there it is. He waited for to say that till after I chose.
Yeah, that would have lost me some points if I just mentioned it out the gate.
It would have. But that being said, guys, that is the last of the time we have for right now. But we will have 2 more episodes with this. We're going to be finishing up and 2 more shorts. And I know these shorts have been a little longer than the 30 minutes that we were going with, but we've got a lot of killers to go through, so we decided to to add a little extra time. They're still shorts. They're shorter than most of the episodes we've ever done, so which is good. But we're gonna go ahead and end this, and we will be back soon to do our next tier list for at least 4 of the next killers. And this next one's going to be a very special one for me. I guarantee. I don't know why I went all Cajun right there, but whatever. But guys, I want to thank Arson for being here with me. This has been a lot of fun so far, and I can't wait for the next 2. And if you guys want to know more about From the Ashes podcast, just look in below in our description, and there's a link in there that will tell you all you need to know. And we are on our YouTube page going to be putting our current, which it should be up there now, our current tier list as it stands right now. So without the last 8 killers up there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you have a great rest of your week, your day, your week, and we'll see you soon.
Don't forget to check what meat is in your chili before eating it.